Welcome to this edition of the $1 Million Mastermind Podcast. This is where we pick the brains of high achievers from all walks of life and get their hard-earned, real-world insights on winning. I'm your host, Larry Weidel. I'm here talking with Luke Schneider and Jason Patton, and we're having a lot of fun talking about fire department coffee and the phenomena that they've created, the community they're building, the fun they're having, and the lessons they're learning. And it's a lot. So thanks, guys, for taking the time. I know you're busy.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
It's our pleasure. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, Jason made a statement there. I don't know if he finished it, but he said, until you get your own business, you don't understand. And I put anything.
Yeah. I tell you, you just don't, I mean, you don't understand the true struggles that people go through to be able to grow a business appropriately, to be able to expand. It's one thing if you start a business and you're like, hey man, I want to make enough money for me to live, and that's it. I'm only going to employ myself and that's going to be it. But I mean, when you want to build a multi-million-dollar company, hopefully $1 billion company one day, and you want to be able to treat people appropriately, your employees, take care of them, make them happy when they come to work, which being an employee myself at another place, I know that's impossible. You can't make everyone happy. It's, I think everyone should have to run their own business for 1 year of their life at 18 years old and truly understand what the struggle is. Just to be able to live and make things successful.
We got a guy in our business, financial services, came from Colombia. And when he was 16, his father had him running their coffee business, I think, down in Colombia. And they had a farm. And every Friday, he would have to take the payroll out of town and navigate all of the gangs and the cartels and all that stuff to get to the plantation to give the money there. And he, but at 16, but the guy's a killer, So when he migrated to the United States, he knew nothing about financial services, but he became a killer now and
that's awesome.
Built a, multi-million-dollar business just like that. And, he takes 3 weeks vacations. He's a guy who likes to travel, 3 weeks vacations at a time.
Nice.
But he still keeps the business. He knows how to keep the business humming while he's gone. He's back, he's on the phone. It's just like he was here in terms of running the business, checking in with him and all. And
that's so cool.
But, it goes back to that original education he got at 16 years old. Got to figure things out, figure out how to get things done. And so what would you think, Luke, if you had to put your finger on it, because let's face it, let's not sugarcoat it. A lot of marriages go through the life or death challenge with starting a business. And so what would you think you did right, Luke, at the critical time? You and your wife both did right to allow you to get through that thing and get back on track again.
Neither of us believe in divorce, so we're both believers, and I feel that our faith really just helped us pull through it. And instead of leaning on our own understandings, because a lot of times we have perceptions that are sometimes not accurate. So
right.
Putting our trust into something greater, and also believing that we were brought together for a reason, and staying together, and decided not to quit on it.
And a lot of that comes it's one thing to feel that, to believe that, but it's another thing to kind of talk it out too. I'm sure there were stages of talking it out that maybe were some uncomfortable stages. Would that be true?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so you have to make it a point that we're going to deal with this. We're not going to let the situation knock us out. It's the same thing like a financial problem. You make up your mind, I'm going to deal with this. I'm going to find a solution. I'm not going to bail. Okay, what are the options? And you know, it's like right now, no, right now, we're not going to postpone it. We're not going to delay it. It stared us in the face, deal. And so you have to be that definite in your relationships too.
Well,
And
and there's something I love about Luke, and Luke and I believe had this relationship, and I think it comes from firefighting and his background and being in the military. But we tell you how we feel about stuff. We try to, you know, sugarcoat it if we can, but you know how we feel about something, because I always trust someone who's willing to tell me something, whether it's good or bad, or I like it or I don't like it. And I know that his wife, I've met her. She will tell you how she feels about it.
I was going to say, everything you're saying, Larry, that sounds like my wife, not me, because I don't want to talk about my problems. You know, I want to get back to work.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's important in business relationships and personal relationships. You have to have the uncomfortable conversations. They have to happen. And if you can have those, a lot of times that gets rid of a lot of those feelings inside, the anxiety and angst that tend to bring down personal and business relationships. Because if you just tell someone how you feel, a lot of times you can work through that kind of stuff.
a lot of it comes down to just airing it out. You know, it's like a stuffy house. I mean, even a house can have air in it and you're not going to die, but you can tell I'm not breathing good in here. It's stuffy. And just opening up, you know, drinking some water, opening the windows, turn the fan on, and you know, it changes things. I mean, just a little, and sometimes people want to bail where all they need to do is get a drink of water, you know.
Oh yeah.
Let things air out, you know, and watch a comedy on TV or something, you know, or something. Watch one of Jason's videos or something.
That'll work.
change the mood, change everything. So when you, Jason, before you get going with Luke and all of that, what was it from your life as a firefighter, that you were a firefighter at that time where you were putting these videos up, right?
Yes.
And how did you get the idea of creating videos and putting those out? It's just because firemen have so much time off. Is that what it was?
No. No, I tell you, you know, what's incredible, and it's the same no matter where you're at in the world when it comes to firefighters, is you put 8 of us in a room and we're going to figure out something to make fun of or something to laugh about. And that's what's great. We find a sense of humor in pretty much everything. And that's exactly what happened. I was sitting around with the boys and girls, and we were laughing about National Geographics. We said we should do a fire department edition. So I did that. We did National Geographic's fire department edition, and we were hunting for different chiefs and different positions in the service. So we did that. We had just a blast doing it. And I put them out there and people enjoyed them. And we realized that they had almost like a mental health release for a lot of guys. So putting those out there, it was very fun, and it's taken off into something that I could have never imagined. And now it's gotten a life of its own, which has been amazing.
Yeah. And how does that really helps you? You know, it's kind of like a ball team. That's why people like sports so much. You know, that's why they say when they retire, they could care less about the football, basketball, whatever. It's being in the locker room with the guys, you know, and traveling with it, you know. And so that's because, you know, you got to be able to take abuse and give abuse if you're going to survive that. You know, it's like going into the jungle for sure, you know.
100%. Yeah. If you're going to be in the fire service, you're going to be in military or EMS or anything like that, then you're going to have to take shoves and pushes and be able to push it back and take it. 99% of the time, it's all done in love, and none of it's in angst or in any kind of mean spirited stuff. It's just the way we say, I love you. And I've said that from the beginning. It's great.
Yeah. And one thing to say, and you guys speak to this, the thing is, like, you don't understand the struggle, the degree, the complexity, how intense things are and how hot it can get. But on the other hand, let's be honest, it's not like that every minute, because there are great rewards. And I don't know if you guys are at that point yet. I imagine you are. It's where, like, whatever price you pay, when we get into these things, almost nobody would have started the business they started if they knew what they were getting into. But on the other hand, just about everybody, after they've been through that, would look back and say, I would have paid 10 times the price because I didn't know it could be this good. And so, that side of the story needs to be in front of everybody's mind rather than how bitter and struggle and complex, but it is, let's not sugarcoat it. And you and your wife are going to want to kill each other many times. You want to kill your core group. There's going to be, when you're moving fast, there's friction, there's rough edges. And unlike, I'm a member of Mar-a-Lago and Trump International in Palm Beach. And what I was hoping when Trump ran for president was it would knock off some of his rough edges, because I knew he was competent. We could do all these things. I just hope this will be good for Trump, whether he wins or not. It'll not, the campaigning, it will knock off his rough edges. I didn't understand that was not possible. He's still got all the rough edges. If anything, all this has done is sharpened them, Trump is like kudzu. We used to say in Georgia, if you want to kill kudzu, it's impossible. And, you do all the things you do. But if you pour concrete on it, all you'll do is make it mad, and he's kind of like that, raid his home with the FBI. Okay.
I think for a lot of people, and I agree with you, I think that a lot of people, if they saw what the struggle was going to be in creating a successful business, it would be very deterring to them. But I think any successful person in their that's ever lived on this planet has understood that struggles, going through anything, the ups and downs of anything in their life is what creates true appreciation for success. If Luke and I were given $10 million and said, hey, go grow a coffee company, we would never appreciate what it actually took to be able to fall up and down, have points where we weren't sure if we were going to be able to reach the next level without it collapsing on us. So that actual struggle is what made us appreciate it. Everyone's always said, you wouldn't appreciate the negatives or the positives if the negatives weren't there. And I think that's what most people should take from creating a business. It's going to suck. You're going to have at least 10 panic attacks over the next year. But when you have that success, you're going to be able to look back and go, man, that sucked, but this is so sweet because of it.
Yeah, I remember we started a company. I can remember years into it, the founder talking to the senior leader saying, I'm looking forward to the day that I don't want to quit two times for sure in a day, just one day where I don't want to quit. I'm quitting. I'm out of here. But then you keep on going, And so, Luke, what would you say to that? I mean, are you finding it's worth it? Because we talk about the struggles and this and that. How, you guys are just starting to taste some of the rewards. What's in front of you is going to be great. Let me tell you. But can you see? Would you say so far the payoff?
Absolutely. I mean, it's crazy to see the potential now and where we're at and the rewards and it's a lot of work to get to where we're at, but it's definitely worth it. And I would say a huge benefit, not just, financially, but personally, I've gotten to meet so many good people and build so many relationships that I would have never formed otherwise without the company. And it's opened up a lot of opportunities to just continue to experience things that I wouldn't have experienced before. I mean, I most likely would have never met Jason and formed the friendship that we have. And that's one of, many relationships that I've been able to build throughout the company. I'm sure Jason would say the same thing, but we've built a family, really. Fire Department Coffee has built a family, and it really feels like our team has built there's a culture here where we take those things from the fire service and the military and apply them to our company, and it's really special.
Thanks for listening to the $1 Million Mastermind. If you felt there were any valuable takeaways from this episode, please take a minute and leave us a 5-star review. Your feedback is important and really helps us get the word out to a wider audience. Remember, we have a valuable webinar that is absolutely free. Register for it right now at whitealumwinning.com. Thanks for listening.